Okay, hi gentlemen, my name is Kelvin, and
Kelvin.
I am turning 56 this year.
I'm Albert Lim. I am 65 this year. I've got 3 kids. I have got 3 granddaughters too from my oldest girl.
So I'm Warrick, 41 this year. I'm the youngest here. So humbled to learn from 2 more experienced and older dads.
Okay, we're supposed to pick out some questions from here, so I'll get started.
Please do.
Oh gosh, here we go. Easy one, let's start easy one.
Yeah, how you know it's easy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no, here we go. Okay, so the question I have in my hand is this. How much of an impact did your own father have on you when you became a father yourself? This is not an easy question for me to answer. And the truth of the matter is that I didn't really have a very close relationship with my own father. My father is actually an immigrant. So he came straight from China. So technically, I'm a first generation Singaporean. So he had a wife back in China. And unfortunately, the wife died. And through matchmaking, he married my mom. So for context, my father passed away 12 years ago at the age of 98.
Wow.
So you do your math, right? My father was really very old. When he had me, I was the 5th of 5 children, right? He was already in his 50s, well into his 50s. So you can imagine the age gap between me and my father was also tremendous. In those days, of course, we don't talk about parenting and parenting skills and whatever. Right? So parents are just basically fathers and mothers. They are the people who will discipline you at the drop of a hat. The way they get the family to toe the line is through shouting, scolding, beating, and things like that. So me and my siblings all got that kind of experience. And so when you ask me the impact it had, the impact is that it really made me more conscious that I want to be a better father in terms of the way I raise my children, not through corporal punishment and stuff. But I'm not saying that I was absolutely successful. And have I beaten my children? The sad news is yes, I have. So I look back on those incidents and realize that a lot of those spur were just very much like gut instincts. Yeah. So all in all, to say that the impact of parents raising children, right, is not to be underestimated. How we raise often will foreshadow the way our children, when they grow up to become parents, will also affect the way they raise their kids. So that's a cautionary tale, but it's not a doomsday message either, because we have a saving Father in heaven who will redress or redeem some of these moments when we lose it. And I have to say I've lost it quite a bit. 17 years is a lot to say, but by God's grace, my children are turning out fairly all right. So thank God for that.
Oh, thank you, Kelvin. My dad, of course, is first generation. He has passed on at a young age at 63. And I'm 65.
Right.
So in my early days, I would say that, those were the days that we even talk about whether Singapore can be a nation or not, can we survive or not.
Yep.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And so it's really about bread and butter. It's really about survival.
Yep.
So my father is always out there working. Yeah, and he married my mother, who was a Malaysian girl. Brought her back from KL. So she naturally became a housewife, stay-home mom. And so she took care of us, 4 of us. I've got 3 other siblings. The older one passed on too.
Okay.
And my dad, all I get is the memory of him is that, he's always out there working. He was a bus driver. And when he's back, he's just having his own time. He doesn't speak much. He's rather stoic, reserved. But I still remember some of those fond memories where he brought us out to Esplanade to walk. He doesn't say much, but just bring us out to Jurong, and somewhere around Jurong Point then to see the open air movies, sit in the car and stuff like that. So these are little things that adds up together. When I grow older, then I realize that, I appreciate those things. I know he loves me, but it's not the heart, it's not that nice word, that sort of thing. It's by his action. So, but it was never wired in me until, my later years, when I'm an adult. And that's where I learned about also this orphan spirit. Yeah, and that's where I can turn to God, my Father, all right, and look to him for the love that I've been missing in me. And of course, in different stages of life, it's maybe a bit late for me to impart to my children when they were young. I grew up and parenting them as best as I thought I could, but definitely I verbalize more, even though I'm also quite an introvert. I verbalize more, and together with my wife, we brought up these 3 kids. So yeah, that's about the impact that my dad had on me. Yeah, I'm very thankful. Yep.
Thanks for sharing. My dad, he also was from a generation where you didn't have many choices about what you can do. It was a lot about survival.
Right.
So I think one of the key things he really influenced me is he always provided for the family. So I was very, very fortunate to have a very stable and very sound position where I don't have to worry about food on the table. I don't have to worry about whether or not I can go to school today or not. Yeah, so I think he took it upon himself to make sure that everything is provided, the basic needs are provided for. Yeah, so I think it's very similar to what Albert shared about having that kind of motivation to want to always work hard and always bring food on the table.
That's right.
Now when I look at my young child and she has many interests and aspirations, you want to provide for that. And in order for that to happen, there must be some form of financial stability also. He was more willing to spend on his children rather than spending on himself. Yeah, so I think that really had a very positive influence. In terms of something which I would like to do better, is sometimes because he works so hard, there are times when I feel that his presence is not really around, especially when you're very young, and then when you grow up, you want to have, you look up to your parents, and you want to share with them about what you experience in the world. But I felt when I was growing up that I would like to have a bit more interaction with him. Yeah, so because of that, now that I'm a young father, I remind myself that I would like to be a little bit more present with my young kids. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Your question.
Okay, sorry. Wow, how was your marriage impacted during the early years of your parenting? What are some things you do to prioritize your wife?
Okay. This one we shall benefit Warrick and myself
It is
from your...
recorded, and also you better say the right thing.
Yeah. You better, yes.
No, I'm very thankful to God for His grace and mercy, for the fact that He has given me a very wonderful Isa Kenedo, right, my wife. Okay, she has made sacrifices and she continues to do so even in this later part of the years. One of the most significant sacrifices that she has made is that of, she was at the peak of her career, and our third boy came. She stopped work. She took the decision to quit her job because she wanted to spend time with the kids. Yeah, and of course, I'm so thankful that I learned so much from her, my Isa, because she's also into training and development, and she picked up a lot. She reads a lot. Yeah, so she would just share with me how she would like the kids to be brought up, during those formative years and stuff like that. So in that sense, I look up to her. So that's how it is. I would say that my marriage has been a very enjoyable learning journey for me. But of course, there were challenges also. At times she told me, you are the head of the household. You must, be the head, kind of show that you are influencing them and stuff like that. Yeah. Initial years, sometimes I take it that she can be nagging at me, always telling me things, I don't want to rebel, that kind of thing. So we went through a very difficult period, 5 years. Very difficult, right? So I want to exert my freedom, this and that. But God's mercy came upon me. Things start to change, to be a good father, you need to be a good husband. Because your kids are always watching you.
Okay.
Question now. Oops.
To what extent do friendships with fellow fathers help spur you on as a dad and follower of Christ?
Wow.
Do you face any challenges in making friends with other dads? I don't have any challenges making friends with other dads. I'm not sure why there's this question. Maybe I've not encountered any challenges. But to what extent friendships with fellow fathers help to spur me on? Definitely. Sometimes you just want to have a sounding board, a listening ear. So it does help because for sure parenting can be tiring. It saps your energy, right? And you also have to make key decisions in terms of providing for family, listening to the wife's requests. So it helps with other parents who are in a similar phases.
I'm curious, do you have peers who are also at the similar season of life like you with young children? And are those the peers, the guys that you connect with and trade stories about parenting? Is that what you mean when you say you have those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I also have peers who are the same age and who have much older kids. So I can always approach them and ask them, so what happened to you? I mean, how do you, how do you manage when the kids were 3 years old? So they're able to provide the hindsight advice.
That's right.
And I think the reason why this question was put in was because a lot of times, at least for myself, I remember the first 2 to 4 years of my children's life when they were born, right? So much of your energy and time is spent trying to manage all of that. You don't really have time, extended time for yourself, let alone to catch up with friends and peers. So I found that in my first few years as a parent, right, a lot of my peers who may still be single or who may be actually further along in it, right, we sort of lose opportunities to connect or to trade stories because now it's different seasons of life, even though we are peers. So I dare not take friendships for granted because I do find that difficult. Not many men talk about this stuff. Men is about career, football, barbecue, things like that. And there's a funny saying that women talk face to face, but men talk shoulder to shoulder. And the reason why is that men don't really find this connection, they find it a bit intimidating. They rather talk about football or whatever. That kind of thing but it's so unfortunate too because that also means that there is this element of the emotional, the mental, the psychological, the spiritual part of it that Thomas gets left unsaid, or we just make a lot of assumptions. And because I have 2 boys, right? So all the more I have to figure this out so that I can help my children figure it out. Because we always encourage our sons, you must find friends, forge them. And of course, you always keep one eye on who are the friends that they are coming to together with, and hopefully, as iron sharpens iron, with people who can build each other up.
So we're gonna stop with one time.
I see. Okay. That's fun. Okay.
So you start.
You don't sabo first, can? That's how men talk.
All right, let's just pick this one. Okay, so for me, I see why this question is all right. Very good. Okay, so the question I have in my hand is this: how did my decision to become a stay-at-home dad several years back, right, impact my identity or even marriage, if any? Are there stories or examples to share? How much time do we have? Okay, here we go.
Half an hour.
Okay, so thank you for that question. I think, to share with the gentlemen here, I was, it was in 2017 at the end that my second boy was diagnosed with autism. And at the time, we didn't know much about what it was about. My wife and I said we had to figure this out, and it was hard to do when both of us were working full time. So we say one of us has to kind of take a back seat to kind of figure this thing out. So we, with the official diagnosis, we got a deferment from MOE. So in 2018, instead of going to primary 1 like his peers, my son continued a second year in K2, giving us some time to figure out what this was about. It was clear that he was going to struggle to go to mainstream school anyway. That decision triggered so many things, like an avalanche for my life over the last 8 years. I think that really shook our foundation, even though the decision was made jointly by my wife and myself. And I never forget this relative who asked me twice in 2 months, are you going to the full-time work? And not even asking as a question, asking as an exclamation, to kind of almost saying that you are supposed to be the man, the head of the household, you rise to that. And I think one of the things that I found myself having to fight in the space was to be heard, to be seen, to be acknowledged that this is something that was needed for this season of my family's life. And so I struggled with it, a lot with it, and I think that prompted me to pour my energies into writing. So I wrote a lot, I started a blog in 2019, and started to write a lot about my experiences as parent, also parent with a child with special needs, and looking at trying to advocate for main caregivers who are men. Too many of us may be unwittingly benchmarking our identity based on our career or job titles, or who we know, or what circles we move amongst. And instead, we need to come back to identity in Christ, but also identity in our family and what it means. And so I could go on and on, but that's been a decision that I feel has brought me to a whole new season of awareness of life, of interrelationships and dynamics that I think has made me wiser, I think, made me more attuned to sensitivities and how a lot of times those who are disparaged, those who are don't have a voice is because we don't fit a mold that the larger society expects us to fit. So again, all these happened for me with that one single decision.
Thank you.
By God's grace.
Warrick, you can pick one now.
Colour.
And you can use 15 minutes of the time.
Maybe I'll ask.
Hey,
I started the sabuing.
Wow.
Okay, so Albert.
Yeah.
Okay, Albert. How different is grandparenting from parenting? Do you have any examples to share?
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's hear it.
How different? Yes.
Grandparenting, you have to know that the children are not yours.
Not
yours.
Okay. Right.
So, and then
That's
there's
so
so
good,
much
yeah.
to learn because of different generation. The way they are, parenting their kids compared to our time. My wife and I will talk, we won't do that, we won't be doing that, this and that, this and that, this and that. So it's like, we need to think out of the box, in order to keep the harmonious relationship. And so my wife especially, because she's so engrossed and engaged in it, she will suffer and then come back and offload onto me. Then I'll give her the comfort and say that, dear, let's enjoy our grands. That's all, yeah. Our kids, we love them, we pray for them. So the angst, we have to learn to release it, let it go and give it to God and ask God for His mercy and grace in that sense. But other than that, whenever now we go out with our grands, besides knowing the basic do and don'ts, we have to ask anything specific that we need to do and things like that, And timing is very important, but I'm the sort that, I've improved on my timing a lot. Leaps and bounds, really, yeah? Okay? So, and also, they are right at times. You cannot feed the kids with too much of sugary stuff, they get hyper, then get home, they get it, their parents.
Right.
So yeah, you learn along the way also what is happening. And the way our grands behave now is also quite different from when my children were behaving when I was a parent, just different, I would call it different gen. Yeah. So, yep, that's the difference.
Thanks for sharing.
You may sabo him back now.
Yeah, of course. You need to talk.
Ready to be sabot.
Warrick, if you could go back in time to talk to your younger self before having children, what piece of advice would you give to him?
That's 4 years ago lah.
Yeah, should be quite fresh.
That should be fresh in your memory, right? 4 years ago, right?
I think the advice that I will give my younger self is stay as healthy as possible so that you're able to maintain your energy for the young kids, because what I'm experiencing now is really just the joy of journeying with the kids when they are so young and every day discovering new things about them. So as I journey with them, all the more I value the importance of being healthy and trying to keep up with them. The other thing that I would want to also advise my younger self is to be very aware of being present with the children. I think that is something, at least for my generation, we can be very guilty because we can work from anywhere right now. We bring work back, we work over the weekends. Unlike in the past where we don't have technology and all, so work always stays within the hours. It's very easy to be physically there, but you're not mentally and emotionally there. So I need to remind myself that whenever my child wants attention from me and she shares something about what happened in school, I want to be there, I want to listen. And it's only when you really listen attentively that's when you not just show that you love and care for them. It also helps for you to think about what's your next move, what you want to do, in terms of being a better father.
Until these days, my wife still say, can you pace your energy and be present when we have the gathering, especially with extended family? Because I'm out there doing my stuff, then whenever I'm back home, I'm quiet. After a while, I doze off, maybe comes with age. Then she will come and nudge me and say, oh yeah. No, I'll make a few noise, here and there, just to make sure that I'm around. So it is something that you really have to watch out for. Energy and presence is so important.
Very true.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, we still have time, I think. Let me pick. Okay, I don't want to sub anybody. I'll just pick.
Thanks.
Oh, quick, related to the earlier question too. Have I ever regretted my decision to be a stay-at-home dad? Oh, wow. Okay. The short answer is no. But okay, so why I say no is because I think while in the beginning it felt very hard for us as a couple, my wife and myself, accepting my son's diagnosis of autism. It felt like something has shifted in a way that was changing our lives to make it harder, and so we struggled with that initially. And the decision to become a stay-at-home father was done in response to that. I think I wouldn't have had the experiences I've had in the last 8 years if I had continued on, nose to the grindstone, just plodding along with the predictable path of a lecturer, which is what I was doing. And it's predictable, it's safe. As long as you do your part, you're fine. It's all very set. And leaving that prescribed life to pivot to this, right, has actually opened my world to so many other experiences. Experiences that led me to meet many other guys who are also in that parenting journey, looking for fellow wayfinders, accompanying them on the walk. And I think it just helps me to also dig deeper into my faith, because a lot of moments there were where you just didn't know what's going on. And when you're taking your child from one therapy session to another therapy session to whatever interventions, you always feel as though what's working, what's not working. It's always trial and error, And it was just a long journey for us. So while my short answer was no, there are some moments I wish that I could just go back to work. Sometimes work is more predictable. Certain things are like, set in stone, and you can kind of do it as long as your eyes closed. But with parenting, every day is a different experience. Every day, especially in the earlier years when the child is growing and developing, every day is not quite the same as the day before. As a young parent now, you should probably see that in your life experience too. And I feel like so many days you just need God's wisdom. And this moving away from a stereotypical kind of pathway for me as a guy in Singapore actually has helped me to see and appreciate a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise. It has made me a lot more humble. I tend to put less weight on things that used to matter.
Right.
So your priorities have shifted, and I feel like it's shifting to a healthier perspective on things. You can let go a lot of more things.
Right.
As long as the children are growing up healthy and in the right path, then what else matters? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for sharing this. Actually, it was also a reminder to me because I'm also at a phase in my life where, always think about wanting to provide more, do more, be very busy. Yeah, but actually, sometimes we don't need to be so busy. Yeah, that's what you say, right? Yeah, and it's very important to take a step back and think about, what are the few things that are more important. Focus on those few important things, rather than trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. But actually, you don't have to. It's very easy to look around and compare. And
Yes, yes, and the culture in Singapore, for at least for now, still has that kind of mindset, that kind of paradigm, and it takes a lot of conscious effort on the parents' part not to fall into that trap.
Sure.
thanks. Okay, I hope you don't mind. I like to ask questions.
Oh, so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's ask questions. Okay, all right. Must ask the grandparent.
Absolutely.
How much of a challenge was it to let go of your adult children when they got married?
Ah, I want to hear this one, man.
I would say that, I got two were married already. My youngest is not married. With my daughter, there is, of course, a tinge of softness lah. I won't say heartache, softness. My daughter, and being the first also, I was very close to her. I carried her a lot when she was a baby. Not an easy baby those days.
Okay.
In the middle of the night, cry, and I'm the one carrying lah. So to let go, I would say that I know I'm going to miss her. Even this day I see her as a mother of three. Sometimes I look at her, I'm going to pinch her ear. As a dad.
Old habits die hard. Huh?
Yeah. It's that kind of longing, But then, I see with the, her daughter, especially the first one, she also got these big ears, like hers and like mine. I'm very happy also, got some genes there, that sort of thing. But with my son, it's a bit different because he's quite intentional to want to stay with us. So, but he was away for 4 years, overseas studies, and he came back, and somehow he felt that, he wants to be with us. Especially he said that, Mom, I want to take care of you. And this one really melted my wife's heart.
That's nice.
I think one of the things I read long ago was this idea that actually parenting is ultimately about raising someone so to a point where they don't need you anymore. Because that's the job description of a parent, right? Because they're supposed to raise a child to be independent so that they can, so they don't need anymore. So it's literally a job where you, from the minute you start, right, you're working yourself out of the job. Right? If you think about this, that's exactly what parenting is.
Of course.
So when I first read that, I never thought about it like that, but it's true. So along with that realization, is that means I have to also learn to let go. This is what my whole job was about in the first place, right? So I think there's some beauty in that.
Yeah, okay.
It's like one word to describe it as I reflect. I do quite a bit of reflection these days. It's stewardship.
Yes, absolutely. We are the stewards for
Gifts
us
from
for a
God,
season.
talent from God, and things like that. How you steward it. Because I'm seeing it happening now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Okay.
Okay. You
Okay.
All right. How would you describe your life in one word?
What?
As a father of two very young children, why? One word.
Wow, you saved the best for last.
Fulfilled.
Fulfilled. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Why?
Or maybe,
Fulfilling.
fulfilling.
Because it's an ongoing process, right? Good one.
Very
man.
fulfilling. Very, very fulfilling. Seeing the kids growing up, it gives me something to look forward to each and every day. I think
Coming from work, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it has given me a new reason for doing everything in my life.
Right.
Right. So it has really shifted my whole perspective of what am I doing everything for? Why am I working hard? It also helps me to reconnect with why we're all here. I think that's very important. To think about why we are created, why do we have children, and why are we given the responsibility as parents, and why are we facing a mix of joy at the same time challenges. Because for me at least, it's the journey of spiritual growth. Again, back to the word is fulfilling journey, and it's just nice. I really appreciate this opportunity that each and every day is different. And I'm continuing to learn, continuing to grow.
Okay. Wonderful way to end our conversation on a very powerful and strong and hopeful note as well. Fulfilling. Thank you for reminding me also about to get my children when I go back home. It's okay, fulfilling. It's a fulfilling thing. Thank you. Well, one of the verses I always come back to, and I guess it doesn't just apply to my journey as a parent, but also just my own journey as a believer, taken from Psalm 73, verses 25 and 26, which says, "Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." And I always come back to this verse because truly, sometimes when you're at your wit's end, and in the parenting journey, there are many, many moments that we are at our wit's end, right? And everything we tried, we always say, "Oh, actually, God, I don't know whether that was the right thing to do," And this verse reminds me that we are nothing, and we can depend on ourselves in no way except by the grace of God, except by looking to Him. So it's always heavenward that I cast my eyes and say, "God, you are our strength. Give us enough just for the day, and then tomorrow please replenish my tank again." And for me, that has really helped me in my own journey, and certainly my parenting journey as well.
Thanks for sharing. So maybe I'll go next. So I'll start off with the verse. Luke 12:22-23. Jesus said to his disciples, "Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothes." So I think the verse quite sums up how we should be leading, how we should approach our concerns, approach our worries. Because with every journey, there will always be some risk-taking, there will always be some doubts, but we know that we can always fall back on Him because we know that He has good intentions for us, good plans for us. So rather than spend the time worrying, perhaps we can spend a bit more time enjoying the process. Because we know that He planned something good for us.
Thank you. For me, I've got Malachi 4:5-6, and I'll send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, and He will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the father, lest I come and strike the earth with a curse. I really have to turn my heart to my children. Whatever wrong they have done in the past or neglected, slack off, whatever it is, that's why I sought forgiveness also. And from now, that season onwards itself, I was very intentional to be present in what they are doing and things like that. And even now, as I reflect back, this journey never ends because it's like, I still need to, so long the fear of the Lord is with me, I still want them to turn the hearts to the Father so that they can see it's a journey that really ends with the Father, the Father in heaven, the completion. So it is almost covenant, It's a never-ending journey until God calls you home, in that sense.